Your team isn't bad at Agile. Your leaders are bad at letting Agile work. I've seen this play out inside Fortune 500 companies, government agencies, and scrappy 50-person startups. They hire consultants. They run safe training. They rename their project managers Scrum Masters and start calling their status meetings stand-ups. And then, 6 months later, they're confused about why nothing changed. Here's what's actually happening, and what the organizations that get it right do differently. Studies consistently show that the majority of Agile transformations don't deliver what was promised. Faster delivery, better products, more engaged teams. The narrative is always that teams aren't ready or the culture wasn't right for Agile. That's a convenient story for the leaders who commissioned the transformation. It's also almost always wrong. Let's look at the 4 real reasons this keeps happening. Reason number 1, leadership won't give up control. Agile, real Agile, requires that decisions get pushed down to the team level. The people closest to the work make the calls. Product owners have real authority over the backlog. Teams can say no to a scope change mid-sprint without escalating to 3 directors. But most organizations hire an Agile coach and run Scrum ceremonies, while the actual decision-making structure stays exactly the same. VP still approves every feature. PMO still mandates quarterly roadmaps locked in January. The sprint goal is really just whatever the executive said in the all hands. You can't put Agile practices on top of a command and control culture and expect Agile outcomes. It doesn't work that way. Reason 2 is what I call Agile theater, and it's everywhere. Agile theater is when an organization adopts the vocabulary and the ceremonies of Agile without adopting the values underneath them. You have daily stand-ups that are really just status reports to a manager. You have a backlog that nobody's allowed to reprioritize. You have retrospectives where people list problems that never get fixed, because fixing them would require a VP to change something. The dead giveaway? When your Scrum Master spends more time filling out status reports than removing blockers. When your retrospective actions live in a doc that nobody looks at. When your sprint review is really just a demo for stakeholders who've already made up their minds. Agile theater is more dangerous than no Agile at all, because it lets leadership say, "We tried that," without ever having actually tried it. Reason 3, there's no psychological safety, and nobody wants to say it out loud. Agile depends on teams surfacing problems early. A developer needs to say, "This estimate is wrong." A tester needs to say, "This isn't shippable." A product owner needs to say, "This feature won't actually solve the user's problem." But in a lot of organizations, delivering bad news, especially upward, is a career risk. So people stay quiet. They hit their committed dates by cutting scope without telling anyone. They call it done when it isn't, and the transformation quietly fails. This isn't an Agile problem. It's a leadership safety problem, and no framework fixes it. So what do the organizations that actually make Agile work do differently? 3 things. First, they change the leadership operating model before they change the team structure. Executives move from directing work to removing obstacles. They start asking, "What do you need from me?" instead of "When will this be done?" Second, they give product owners real authority, not product owner in name, but actually takes direction from a committee. Real authority over what gets built and in what order. That single change fixes more dysfunctional sprints than any framework adjustment you'll ever make. Third, and this is the one that gets skipped most, they measure outcomes, not output, not story points, not velocity, not "Did we complete the sprint?" They ask, "Did this release move the metric we were trying to move? Did users actually behave differently?" That's the signal that tells you whether Agile is working. These aren't complicated changes, but they're uncomfortable. They require leadership to operate differently, not just talk differently, and that's why most transformations stop short of them. So before your organization launches another Agile transformation or tries to rescue one that's already struggling, I want you to ask one question. Are the people authorizing this transformation willing to change how they make decisions? If yes, you have a real shot. If no, you're about to spend a lot of money on new vocabulary. I put together a free Agile transformation readiness checklist. It's a Notion template that walks through exactly what needs to be true at the leadership level before a transformation can succeed. Link is in the description. If you found this useful, subscribe. I post 1 video a week on what actually works in Agile and program management. Not theory, not buzzwords. See you next Tuesday.